Are we on over there? Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order for the St. John Economic Development Committee for May 25th, 2022. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Mr. Godoy is gonna do the roll call. Yep.
Emily Warren is not in. Scott Bell.
Here.
Joe Barry.
Here.
Myself, Dave Beathold.
Here.
John DeYoung.
Yes, here.
Kelly is not here. Town manager, Mr. Wazawadi is here.
Present.
Jason Travitt.
Here.
And Mike Aurelio is not here.
Okay, and
Just
Joe?
for the
Yeah.
Okay, good.
for the record, Councilman Aurelio will be absent this evening. He has an engagement with family.
Thank you. Okay. I just turned in another sponsorship for our festival, and it's nice to get the business community doing that. Joe, do we have receipt of revenue that's come in yet from the clerk's office, or?
All I have right now is this one
Okay.
in hand because
Well, there's been numerous ones sent in, so do I need to contact her to
If you-
kinda
if you-
keep track of receipts?
if you would, and then check back with me.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
do that, so,
Since you brought that up, I did reach out to some of the town's vendors with respect to sponsoring the event. Got some feedback and a commitment. One of the checks in the mail kind of thing. So hopefully we'll get that soon. They were going to sponsor for $1,000 under the silver sponsorship. So looking forward to get that, and hopefully we get a lot more. So, but I'm going to beat some bushes as far as our vendors are concerned because
yeah, and I think if we all can reach out, I think we'll accomplish a little bit more here.
yeah.
John, should we have Cindy keep a spreadsheet of those receipts?
Yeah, Emily has that list.
And we'll just keep her in the thread
Yep.
so that we can keep track of that.
Do we know for sure of who has?
Emily or Kelly, sorry, one of them sent a text, or email today while I was reading it, sparingly reading it. And she said, I think 7 people have showed interest and 2 have committed. That's all I know. I don't have a specific.
We got another check tonight, so that's good. Approval of minutes for 4/27/22. Did everybody get those minutes?
I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of April 27th, 2022, and May 11th of the special meeting of 2022.
Very good. And may I have a second for that? Joe? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
For the record, I had to abstain for the 511 because I wasn't here at that meeting.
Right.
So I can approve 427 or say.
That's
or
fine.
Agree to that.
Very good. Thank you. Cindy, mapping.
Mapping,
We changed it a little bit, right?
yes, we changed it, but we still haven't confirmed, because we're still getting some food vendors that are showing an interest now.
Good.
I believe we talked about more closer to the event, Bobby and I, and probably Joe and whoever else would like to join us. We'll
Okay.
get back together and reassess the area.
Very good. Town for electricity, that's all gonna run out of the Parks garage
Same
there?
category, yes.
Okay, all right. And where are we at on volunteers?
Okay, on the sheet that I gave you that says add St. John Fest letterhead. This is just a kind of a spreadsheet I created to pass out for volunteers. You know, with your approval or your suggestions. These are the areas that I thought we need help at. You know, we need setup, we need bounce house area attendance, park beautification or cleanup. I like the word beautification.
Yeah.
Beer tent, entrance and exit, taking care of the beer tent, the family area, and then anybody wherever needed.
Very
So I
good.
thought this would give a guideline of who we have for these times, but I think we need our letterhead on there to make it official, to email it out. I talked to 3 of the 4 churches. 2 churches are very interested. One church I left, let's see, Holy Shepherd Lutheran is very interested in us sending volunteer information. Angie from St. John said that they're very interested, but then their festival is the following week, so they need to respect their volunteers. And then I talked to Cindy at Suncrest Christian, they're interested. And Community Baptist, I left a message for them to get back to me, and I haven't heard from them yet.
So that's in the works. It's
So
very
these
good.
are in the works, so as soon as we can create this volunteer letterhead sheet, I can email it to them, and then they will pass it out through their church community.
Very good. Thank you. We talked a little bit about the advertising, but we're going to go to,
Just for a minute, on a volunteer setup, what are we thinking is a sufficient number? Have we come to, I mean, you got a nice breakdown here. Do we need, I think if I were you, I would somehow say bounce house area, 6 needed.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Park beautification, 10 needed, or give them a number, because otherwise they're all gonna go, well, yeah, I'll sign up for the beer tent entrance and exit, or, you know what I'm saying? That way we can say, hey, we're filled there. Is there a possibility of one of the other open
Okay,
spots?
all right, gotcha.
You follow what I'm saying?
All righty,
Make sense?
sure does. And then if they know we want to join up with a friend or something. in
Correct.
that area. Okay. I will go ahead and do that, Dave.
I
So
think
can
we
you
need,
think of anything else, I'm sorry, think of anything else on there that, you know, I tried to think of what our activities are gonna be, and then kind of the where needed, kind of covers, you know, an open spot there.
Are there age guidelines or limits for volunteering? Is it 16 or?
That is one of the questions that I have to cross-reference with Joe. I don't know if we need a waiver for the volunteers, and if there has to be an age limit on that. So that's something that we need to talk to legal about.
I think anything to do with the beer tent, I think you just start at 21.
Yeah,
Don't
the beer
even
tent's
go
definitely-
down that road.
Yeah, beer tent definitely 21, but like the bounce houses and stuff,
Yeah, I think you could have younger ones.
But we still need commentary on liability waivers and things like that.
we good, Cindy?
okay, yep, we're good with that.
Okay. All right, our signed, we have to make a decision tonight on those signs, the signage.
Okay, on the sheet, that has rough pricing on there,
Yep.
that's from working with Scott, thank you, Scott.
Yeah,
This is the guesstimate of where we're at right now. So that breaks down the garage sale type signs. Those are the ones that we'll have like throughout the park that says, you know, only over 21 and family area and first aid and that. Those are the garage sale signs. The yard signs advertising, those are the ones we talked about putting all through town.
You think 150 is a good number for that, or is?
I do think that's a good number. You know, I think that's a good number of passing them out, and then we also have to make sure we pick them all up after. So whoever, you know, we pass out, we got to pick them up. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think 150 is enough?
I think that if you find major intersections where we can put them in the the parkway areas and stuff like that. And then you ask some of the local business people, even if they're not sponsoring our event, if they would allow us to put a sign up in their, their yard or their parkway or something along. I mean, you don't want to offend anybody, but at the same time, they can at least show some support in that respect. So I think we go through 150 signs pretty quick.
Sure.
And then, Dave, with that same thought, the next sign down, or item down, the 12 4x6 banners, I think those were the ones that we were talking about at those major intersections to put a bigger banner up, saying, so I think that, we cover both of that, the local or the smaller areas and then the bigger intersections.
Well, to be quite honest with you, some of our, what I would call our gold or platinum sponsors, if that's what they actually are, I think that banner needs to go in front of their
It's
business.
a great idea.
You know what I'm saying? As a big time sponsor, that way they get the town's local recognition of the fact that they're, a big part of that.
It's a great idea.
You know what I mean? And that way we showcase them and show them our support by, kind of quid pro quo. You know what I mean?
Sounds good. Okay, and then the 3 banners, 2 of them would be in the beer tent with the sponsors' logos on them. And then we added 1 extra banner that would say, St. John, Town of St. John thanks the veterans. And then maybe design it with the medallion from each branch of service on there, American flag. And in my vision, what I'd like to see in the beer tent, that we, either a designated veteran area or at least that banner up and make sure we have an American flag there. Just to, some recognition to our vets.
Yep.
Sounds good.
So, do we need an additional motion to approve these additional signs? Or what do you think, Joe?
I'm gonna be honest, what I would do is I would go ahead and do the, 2986, does that even have to go to RTP? Yeah. That's what I would do then. I would just, for a motion to recommend. And then we'll go ahead and, we don't have to do an RTP on this, so we could just go ahead and process that here. But let's get if that's what we're doing, then let's get these ordered up right away, because I don't know what kind of lead time they're gonna need. But I'm just as an observation, $1,500 for the yard signs, to me, that's a bit much. I used to run campaigns and usually those are like $4 a piece. So that's like $900 more. So maybe if we could take a look at doing that particular piece, maybe like through signsonthecheap.com and seeing if we can get some better pricing on that and just design them ourselves. Just a thought.
Gotta have the wires too, though.
Yeah, and they can include the wires too, but usually that's like $4 a pop. Even at, yeah,
Including that.
yeah. It's just like three and change, and then it's like an extra 80 cents or whatever for the stakes.
Well, that's a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, they're expensive, because I got a guy up in Elgin, but I'm not going up there. If you wanted to get signs, you could do them for a lot less.
Yeah, the idea is to support local.
Right.
I mean, and,
But $900, I mean, hey.
well.
Well, I could
don't
ask
know
him
what the
too
new
if he
pricing
can.
is today. I mean, compared,
Yeah, that's true too, but I mean, it's just, I'm thinking,
I think
Cost-wise,
I
yeah.
think we revisit R&D and say, hey, listen, we're looking at a budget
yeah.
of 2,500 all in. Can you help us make that happen?
Well, I mean, even if he wants to put a little advertising blurb on there,
Absolutely.
and give us some consideration for that. So
Right.
that
Yeah,
would
just
be
to keep it local.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
want
mean,
to keep it
if he
local.
knocked it down to 1,000, I'd be like, okay, it's a little high, but okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we get a competitive quote just to see, you
Yeah.
know, what somebody else may quote, whether they're local, but
Anything on
might be
top of that,
ammunition to get him to come down a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
on top of that, we still have a few sponsors that are in the air.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we really, I mean, once we get them, this order down, we kind of need to have that detail over to them.
Yeah.
So holding it off for another, a little bit longer.
Well,
is-
the banners and stuff like that, yeah, I get,
Yeah.
the sponsor banners and stuff like that, but we definitely want to get moving on
The smaller signs.
smaller signs, because we want to get those deployed out now. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it's Memorial Day.
He had about 7 to 10 days design time, so. you're
But
right.
didn't in your initial contact with them, didn't they talk about somehow being part of a sponsorship?
I asked him if he would be interested in being a sponsor. He said yes, whether
Okay.
it's, part of the service
And
time.
maybe that can be a barter in the sense that we'll give him a certain status based on,
As a sponsor, put it
As
on
a
the sponsor
sponsor.
banner, absolutely.
right, if we can cut, get a little bit better shake. Never hurts to
Yeah, I
ask.
agree,
Ain't
right?
gonna hurt to ask. All
And you put his name on the signs,
Yeah.
that's good
Right.
advertising for him.
Scott, can you contact him again and find out? if
Sure,
he'll
yep.
do that? Okay. All right.
We'll follow up
um,
with him this week.
Then I
And
would,
then we can get this processed and get this moving, because
Yeah,
we
I-
definitely want to move on this.
all right,
sooner rather than later.
I would like a motion from the committee here to approve signage up to, tonight, up to $2,600. And then,
Well, we can only recommend it, right, Joe?
Yeah, it's a motion to
All right,
recommend.
well, I'll put that out there. Then I'd like to have a motion to recommend a budget of $2,600 for all local signage and advertisement for the Freedom Fest.
very good. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion on the $2,500 limit for signage.
26.
So
Sorry, $2,600 limit for the signage.
with his design fee, he's currently at about 3,200.
Right.
So we're really looking for 10, 20%,
Correct.
right? 2,600?
And maybe that, if push comes to shove, maybe we go over to 100, you know what I mean?
Right,
Well, yeah, could always do that too.
right.
So if we got to monkey around with the numbers, then we'll do that to get it done.
And if he can't do it, then you'll come back to us and we'll see how much money has come in.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, because that's $500 right there, right?
Oh.
Right. You got rid of
Right.
50.
Right. So we've had a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Would we be interested in any, like, poster type signs we could put in a business, just hang in,
Yes.
whether it's the Omni or, wherever? I know outside is, but the banners or the yard signs, you may achieve that as well, but I don't know. Certain businesses, if you had just a little sign on the wall.
Scott, I
Maybe
think we
good.
talked about, like, when we get that detailed agenda in that flyer, then we can pass those out to the businesses, and they could maybe have them on their countertop or
Okay.
whatever, or post them in the window. Does that work?
Yes.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, if we have extra garage sale signs, there's nothing wrong with taping it to your window of your storefront
Right,
too.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And because every time they've got to change fonts or change size of things, that's where your costs for printing run. If we can stay relatively, symmetrical with everything we do, we'll, at the end of the day, because when they got to screen paint it and stuff like that, it's all about blocking
That's
it
true.
out and stuff
Right,
like that. So if we can stay relatively consistent, I would rather double up on the, and if we only put 100 around the town and we use 50 or 25 for businesses that have storefronts that are very visual from main streets and stuff like that, I think that's only beneficial for us too.
I think too, if we can contact the businesses that have signs that display like I
Sure.
have in front of my store.
Right.
That we can start a,
Get a blurb
Yeah,
as part of
yeah.
your digital,
yeah.
marketing, sure.
So if we can touch base with a lot of those
John's
folks.
buying the first round. I think we'll have them lined up.
Wait till you gotta feed them.
That's right. That's okay.
And just real quick on the advertising piece, coming out in your water bill will be the flyer
Okay.
for that. That was sent over to the printer last week, so there will be a new one in the July or the June bill before the fest too.
Good. So we'll get to,
Yeah.
good, great.
Have Is that it on printing and signage? Is everybody okay with that? Okay. Cindy, tables and seating, are you going to revisit that, or are you pretty set?
I think we're pretty good, because Bobby said that we had, what, like 50 picnic tables?
50 picnic
Dave,
tables?
were you going to check with Lake County, or?
They have another event going on
Oh, got it.
that weekend,
Okay.
and the problem would be logistically seeing what they need. You know what I'm saying? And they were very non-committal,
Yeah, okay,
which I get.
right.
Because
No
I-
transport, no means-
Correct.
Yep, okay,
And I think if we would say, hey, for a day, we need to swipe them, they probably say, okay, but then we're at 10 o'clock at night, we may be responsible for getting them back for something they're doing on the actual 4th of July.
Right,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And yeah, that could be an issue. So Joe seems to think we have that many locally here in town, I'd say, let's start there and see where we're at.
yeah, I think we're good. You know, a picnic table can really hold 10, you know, if you're all friends. That's seating for 500 right there.
Yeah.
And we can only hope that, you know, that we have people hanging out and sitting in families. Does that work right?
Yep.
I think so. I think that's good.
Yeah, and a lot of people will be coming and they'll bring their own lawn chairs or
Right.
blankets and stuff like
Right,
that too,
for
so,
fireworks
yeah.
and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
How are we set on food?
Okay, with food, Welch's, well, kind of adding in this, Malt Brothers. Dan from Malt Brothers sent me an email to meet with him. I haven't had a chance to do that because he was looking for a day meeting, and I hadn't been able to schedule that with him. So anyway, we're working on that with Malt Brothers. Food, Welch's is still in, and that I would confirm when I meet with Dan.
Correct.
So,
They're gonna kind of tag team, okay? At least that's how it was presented to me, because they want to be able to kind of have enough volunteers to make sure they get all phases covered.
Got it, okay. All right, so yeah, so I don't have a specific answer on that one. Pascal's is in, and then I got a email today from Las Montecitos that they're in. That's like, I think a taco truck type thing. I think, Rob, did you just mention Dan's?
Yeah.
Okay, Dan's pierogi people out of Cedar Lake, I could check into that.
Yeah.
And then Anastasia sent me an email if we had considered asking the food vendors from the farmer's market if they want to participate. So before I went ahead and called them or emailed them, I wanted to know what the council feels on that. And I believe we would just extend it to the food vendors right now, not stepping on the toes of the farmer's market, their whole activity. But you know, we're, as a food fest, to see if their food vendors would be interested, which would also have maybe like the funnel cake, the sweet kind of stuff.
Yeah, because they're done by what, 1 on Sunday? Because it's the same day.
Yeah,
So they're here in town,
1 or 2, I can't, yeah.
yeah.
So just,
Yeah, it is
so
one.
we have an agreement for me to reach
Yes,
out to them?
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then also on that same note, we have the Lake County Health had sent over 3 items that the food truck people need to fill out. I need to call them to confirm the food event pack to find out exactly what that is. The gal Monica from Las Montecitos, when I first talked to her, she said she would help guide me through that. And like I said, I just heard back from her today, so I will follow through with her to find out the specific guidelines of what we need to do with that.
I gotta think that Welch's, because they do outdoor events, are probably underneath that umbrella already. Pascal's, I'm not sure, because being outside as opposed to inside may change some of that.
Yeah, but I think they're still selling it inside. People are going in there to get it.
You think so?
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna have a tent, right?
I don't know.
We probably should confirm that then. Because Pascal's is right, you know, it's at the
Right.
Midwest, so
Right.
it wouldn't, I mean, they could be outside maybe collecting orders, but then when the pickup comes, you know, give the person the ticket or whatever and go inside and pick it up. I mean, that'll circumvent anything.
And then with that same thought, those in the farmer's market would probably already have that, so we wouldn't have to worry about those guidelines with them, right? Because they would already have that.
I'm sure they're all bonded and all that licensed already.
Yeah, but it asked the question.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, and then, how you doing on the kid events?
okay, on this kind of this breakdown sheet here, there's like a couple copies there.
Yep.
That's from Fun Express. There, I mentioned about ordering some items from there, and then the council wanted to see what items we'd be interested in ordering. So I kind of did a breakdown. They have like kids' sunglasses, necklaces, all the glow stuff. So there, I have a few different items to choose from here. So on this printed out Excel sheet, I kind of added up, if St. John, initially I said about $300 or $400, but I added up the things here that are on this package item. It comes to about $516 for us to purchase all these items. If we decided to sell them, and I kind of broke down what I thought we could, it says, how much it is per item, cost per item, per piece. And then if we sold it at those other prices, fees on there, that we would pay $607, but we could make $729 on it. So it's kind of breaking even. And with that thought, we would sell like the glow stick and like the little girl like bows in their hair and stuff, but the craft items we could have in the family area, the beer tent, for some extra activities that the kids could just get. If we had an attendant there, they could just pass out if they wanted, if they want to make sunglasses, sunglasses or these little beaded necklaces. There's visors. Tried to find girl and guy stuff. So that was my thought. You need to approve that or let me know your thoughts on that. That was something that I thought might work. And then the items to sell would be like the girls' little bow things in their hair, the glow sticks, and then the koozies, the little beer can koozies. So your thoughts, everyone?
I guess my first thought would be that should be a line item on the volunteer form about volunteers needed to help
For sales.
for sale. That where you've got the where needed. I think that's fine. I think you could probably combine the beer tent beautification along with the beer tent family area as kind of like one item, and then in there put Fun Fest, sell items or something, because obviously we need somebody to monitor.
Right. So
that.
I needed your approval for me to add that in there. Because we talked about selling items, we didn't talk about having a kid area where we give them a craft to do. So we could, do we agree on that?
So you're talking about them first 4 items as the sell items, the top 4?
Yes, yep, those 4 would be the selling items, and like, so that's kind of broken down on what it is per piece and what we would sell it at.
Okay.
And then the next group would just be the stuff we'd give away to the kids to play with, to give them something to do.
All right, so if we do that, if we give the giveaway stuff and we actually sell everything that we have in the sell side of it, can we break even?
Yeah, that's what, it would be, we would invest $607. If we sold all those items, the price would come, or the profit would be $13.33. So if you took the 600 from the 1333, we'd make a profit of 726.
All right, so that 607.38 on the bottom is combined all items.
All the items that we.
Gotcha. Okay, I thought they were
I'm
two
sorry.
separate. 500 for one, 600 for. I'm like, we're right there then.
Nope, that's
Okay.
purchasing.
That's
all
total
those
cost.
items. Total cost, total investment from St. John would be 607.
Gotcha.
And then part of it would be stuff to sell, and part of it would be like just a complimentary gift for the children.
I think that's great.
Yep. I need a motion for that, please.
Well, with the volunteer aspect, we want to make sure we have somebody to oversee
Yep,
the units and the audit and
yeah.
the funds of the sale. So, I mean, that's going to have to be ironed out, too.
But she's got to get it ordered.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to purchase no more than $610 worth of Freedom Fest children accessories and toys.
Swag, Freedom Fest swag. I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we have that recommendation, Cindy, and you can go ahead and do that.
Okay, and then we have our account already set up to order from them, tax exempt, so we're ready to go.
Yep.
Just to, place the order.
Very good. Nice job.
And do I have your approval if some of these items are sold out to?
Yes, to substitute.
Substitute. Yeah.
Substitute?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Nice job. That's a lot of work to itemize all this and and figure it out, but good job. Yeah. The stage is going to be part of what the tent
Correct.
folks are bringing, so we're good there. The portable restrooms, bathrooms,
Yeah, Bob Davis is taking care of that. We're all set on that.
so that's okay. And as far as, yep, go ahead.
Joe, we have the proposal from
Service.
Service Sanitation.
And no actions required because we already have an account set up with
Got
them.
it, okay.
Yeah.
Cindy, for our veterans, are we going to have any participation with helicopters or anything like that?
Well, not.
I know
for
Joe was
veterans.
working on that too a
Yeah,
little bit.
we did have a University of Chicago helicopter set up for this event. However, due to some changes with the logistics of the landing site, that had to be torpedoed. So that's a no-go for the helicopters at all.
All right,
Okay,
It's logistically not going to work. We just got the property owner to sign off on the agreement to utilize part of his property for viewing but not parking. So that could be, if we have an overflow parking situation, we're going to have to figure that out logistically. So we'll figure that out. But all in all, I mean, we've got the site for the fireworks all set up. It's just a matter of kind of getting it set up and getting it going. So
Now, is Public Works or the parks guys going to be able to quarantine off space for parking? Because like I said before, and talking to Tyler before he left, that adjacent park across the street could be used as overflow, but they've got to know that that's an option.
you're saying the property that's just south of the ice arena?
Wherever we're going to park cars, that's going to be its own section, correct?
The ice arena will be its own section. Then there'll be parking all the way back down through.
Okay. Well, I guess a designated
Yeah.
spot, okay.
So the area where the property that's just south, we're going to have a large swath of grassy area, if you will, that it's going to be mowed down that will allow for seating in that area, but not parking cars.
Correct.
Just to kind of make it, like we're accommodating the owner of the property.
Right. But I mean, like I said, I don't know what could be parked across on the
Yeah,
other
Dave's
side of
I should say
Wyandotte,
they're accommodating us.
Dave's talking about the other park that we have that
across the
is,
street.
yeah, that it's north, north of Midwest on the other side of the street.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I think they had that set up for overflow parking.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
need be. So there's that, and we're also talking to, or let the church know, that's on 109th over there, that's just south.
Oh, the Protestant church.
Yeah, they got the big parking lot, so we're
Yeah.
anticipating that people are gonna be parking there for viewing.
I think you need to verify
letting-
that,
we're
because
letting them
they have
know.
an evening service.
Well, and that's what I said, I'm like, yeah.
They have a 5 o'clock.
But we're gonna let them know anyway, just to kind of give them advance notice, so.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're out of there by 9 o'clock, but if they're not, obviously that could be problematic. But that's why we're letting them know,
Yeah.
very good.
yeah.
Cindy, do we have any contacts with a band for the Little League teams to do something for a parade for our vets at that time, or like a little honor guard for, as they play the national anthem? The
Not at this point.
no.
We-
The VFW is doing, just so everyone knows, VFW is doing their Memorial Day service here at 8 o'clock. I'm making the same announcement at the 7 o'clock meeting, but they're doing their Memorial Day service here. I can check with Dan Peterson, I believe his name is, to see if they would be willing to come out, present colors while they do the national anthem.
Yeah, I think that would be really
That'd be
nice since
awesome.
it is the 4th of July. So if we can tie that up, that would be,
And you're all invited, by the way, Monday at 8:15, so if I got to be there, you all should too. Just
Yep.
saying.
Sure.
On Memorial Day, my day off, just saying.
I'll Skype from Michigan.
I'd rather go with you.
you're gonna Zoom us?
Yeah, I'll Skype you
Okay,
from
okay,
Michigan.
Thank you, yeah. All right, any other questions or discussions? Joe?
No, I don't have anything.
No?
No.
Cindy?
Okay, the only thing, I just wanted to give a shout out to Dave for offering to take care of the volunteers for food and drinks. That was very nice. Wanted to make sure we acknowledge that again,
Yep.
so thank you. And then my goal is by our next meeting to have that detailed agenda with the time frame. You know, what's going on at 3 o'clock, and so that's,
Yep,
now that we can, more detailed information here, I can work on getting that specified. And then, in mid-June, I'll ask Joe to schedule our department head meeting again with fire and PW and police department, just to see if we need to have a meeting. I know PW do, but, you know, if we need to have a meeting with the other department heads to, you know, see if
be a
we
good
can-
idea.
Yeah, we'll definitely probably have a few more
Okay.
before then, just so we can get the logistics worked out. Plus, we have to have staff who's going to be allocated for those hours.
Do we need a special meeting in June?
Maybe, yeah. I would imagine
Yeah,
we're probably going to want to talk, you know, at least, you know,
At least once or
formally.
twice more, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think so.
So
I mean,
that-
if we need to meet informally as, you know, without having a,
Public meeting.
what do you call that thing? Quorum, there you go. Then, you know, we could do that and meet informally.
Well, I think, yeah, you don't want to probably wait till that last week of June, which would be our next quote-unquote scheduled meeting, to
Right.
try to tie up any loose ends with literally days to go.
Yeah, yeah,
And we need to have at least 2 touch points per month.
yeah.
So,
Because we're scheduled the 22nd, right, Jason?
the 22nd of June,
Okay, that's
And
10
we-
days out, basically, then.
yeah, but then we need to also schedule something on the 8th of June. If that works,
Eighth.
or it works with the board here, and then
So 2 weeks from tonight.
2 weeks
Yeah,
from tonight at
Yeah, if we
5.
could do that at 5 o'clock, just so we,
Yeah, that's fine.
5 PM.
yeah, because I know we're going to have a study session at 7.
And if you'd get a special announcement out on that, Jason, right? For a special meeting, right? We have to make sure that gets out, otherwise we can't meet. Okay. Any other questions or comments? No? Good job. I mean, I appreciate the extra time everybody's giving and everybody going out doing their thing. It seems like it's really, really coming together. Cindy, all the detail work you've done is terrific, so thank you. You've worked hard, and
Got a good team.
yeah, and Joe, and Jason, thank you for getting the word out too, and what you've done here too, on contacting some of our vendors too, so I appreciate that. So I think it'll be a great day for our community. So
Hope the weather is cooperative.
that's right.
And it's going to be what it's going to be. It will either be wet or very hot, so.
You can definitely, because part of the deal that I made with Malt Brothers and Welch's is on that sponsor board, or on that sponsor banner, so
Oh, and Cindy, just,
you'll not see
well, this
a
is off the
formal-
record.
I'm gonna talk to Cindy.
Well,
about
hey.
how we want to lay out each
Yeah.
of those handles.
hang on here a second. So I need a motion to adjourn.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry, I know, John, sorry. I just wanted to ask if anybody wanted to be in that meeting with Dan from Malt Brothers. So Joe and I will do
Yeah,
that?
'cause
Okay.
And that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Just let me know.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. So with respect to the inside the tent security, we're gonna have Lake County police officers patrolling that. So he's gonna have to pay them directly. So that, yeah, we're gonna need to make sure that he understands that. So in terms of asking him for any kind of money to participate, obviously that's not, you know, he's gonna need to pay them, so.
Well,
And that may need to come off of what he would have,
the initial
shared
deal
with us.
that I made with them
Yeah.
is between the two, Welch's and Malt Brothers, that they get sponsorship status with no sponsorship money.
Right.
Okay?
That's fair.
But the all, about, their people will be paid by them.
Right.
With a 60-40 split, their 60, our 40
Right.
of profit.
well, and that 40, you may need to come off the 40 to
Correct.
cover the cost for and that would be fair,
Absolutely.
yeah.
But just so, I mean, and they were agreeable to that.
Yeah, so they can't come back to us and say, hey, you owe us $225.
Right.
Out of the 40.
Right. So, I mean, if it has to come out of our part,
It actually has to come from them. The
but I
town
mean,
can't pay 'em.
you know, if total money is there and the 60-40 split is, and we have to be part of that security,
We
I
need
mean,
to-
It just should be a deduction.
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
It'll come off the 40%.
That's fine.
And that's fair. Hopefully next year it's
Absolutely.
bigger
Maybe
and
we,
better.
maybe
Yeah.
we split it,
Yeah.
you know, or whatever. We'll see. But just so when you have that meeting, just make sure that they are in charge of what they feel they need to charge.
Right.
Okay, that's on them, okay?
As long as
They
it's
know
not
their
ballpark.
costs, they know their overhead, they know whatever they need to get. We don't need to say, and like, the volunteer thing is a completely separate deal. I'll deal with Welch's with that.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean, I'll take care of that end of it, but I'm just talking about as far as what they need to get for themselves. That's their, and then, you know, they'll have to obviously post some sort of signage or whatever so people are aware of
Cost and stuff.
costs. That's on them also.
Awesome. Now you get your motion adjourned.
Anybody else got a comment? I know I'm gonna ask for it, Cindy. You're gonna say one more thing? No? We're good? May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.